Hello everybody. What do you think if I give this thing a head? I think it's time. Well, he does stand up when he wants to. There, he was standing on something. Okay. Maybe I'll have to put him on a stand too. He's just a little... He stands fine until something shakes him a little, which is usually me. I'm going to go roll out a couple pieces of this, and then we'll start forming the neck and the head. Well, I should have cut it from this direction. It works better. I'm going to save that for filler, in case I need it. Okay, I will be back. I think I went with the smaller edge one. That it don't matter. Okay. I think first I'm going to work on that head, or on the neck. Let me get that neck right. There are times when I wish my hands could actually work that fast, but they don't. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get that neck. We'll get to the face later, but I want to get that neck. Something that you might find interesting is the withers are at the point where the neck meets the back. It's the highest point on the back. That's what they use when they're measuring the height of a horse. It's not up to the top of the head or anything like that. It's the highest point of the back to the ground, or actually the ground up. This has been, over years, has been typically by the width of a man's hand. Now, I'm sure that they have a better way of actually measuring it now, since not every man's hand is the same size, but generally between 13, 14, 15 hands is where they distinguish a pony from a horse. And so I remember trying to measure our horse that was just right at the top of the pony, but she was a pony. She was a paint. Beautiful mare. And every year she was bred with my grandpa's stallion. And so we had lots of little, once a year we'd have us a new colt. And now the horse, the mare, was named Betty. She was actually bought for my cousins, and they didn't, well, there was a reason that they didn't take him home right away, but her home right away. She was with us for quite some time, and we would when we were all pretty little. Most of us older ones were pretty little. And there was a bunch of us. I think they had about 6 or 8 of us on her back one time, just from withers to rump. And somebody fell off the back. But it was, I saw a picture of it somewhere. I was like, really funny. None of us were much more than, 3 or 4 years old. But anyway, she was pretty tolerant until she wasn't. What I'm trying to do is get this eye so that it looks like there's a lid and an eyeball. The eyeball needs to be not especially sunken, but at least needs to be and it needs to look like an eyeball, not an eye square. They do have a pretty good sized upper lid so that they can cover their eye if there's gnats running around or flying around. Need to blink. I can't make him blink, but I want to give him the ability. That may have been a mistake. Nope, I think that was pretty good. If I could just quit shaking for a minute. Oh, turn the wrong way. Starting to look like a snuffleupagus. That one is. I don't know if I should take any off. I think it just needs to. Okay, I'm getting ready to put the mane on, and trying to shape that face a little. But I'm getting ready to put the mane on, and pretty quick, I put some nostrils in first. Has to breathe. So I trim this off a little, but there's all different ways that people treat a horse's mane. Some of them will cut it real short, and so that it kind of, you know, stands up or whatever. I just like to have my horse's mane be its mane. I kind of liked it having, you know, the longer hair on the side, and I'd brush it when I had it, when he would let me. My horse was a gelding, and he did have his mother's stubborn streak. But for me, I was able to work with him, and he wasn't as accepting as everybody, but well, he didn't really, sometimes he wasn't very happy with me, but we managed. And I just loved that horse. And I did get him to the point where he would come when I called, and when he was of a mood too. He wasn't always, but we went for rides. I did. Yeah, and I did take him in the fair one year. I didn't get him in as a 4-H entry. I can't remember why I wasn't able to do that, but anyway, for horsemanship, I did go ahead and participate in that in open class. He wasn't, that was the only thing I could, because he wasn't of any particular breed. He was cow pony, and that's pretty much, well, he was horse-sized, but, and I think I even rode him into town one year, but a couple times. I like to show him off. And years later, I went on a trail ride, and a bunch of this trail riding group had decided to come down toward our area and take a ride up in the Flint Hills. And the place that they got permission to go riding was probably one of the tallest hills in the area. And when I brought Topper up, they just laughed. Yes, I did take part of his nose off on this one because it was just too long. And there was one point I kind of said, golly, I think he looks more like a snuffleupagus. So I did reshape the nose, and he turned out looking much better. So, yeah, I'm shaping things right there on the side. But we'll see that again pretty quick. But yeah, I had a lot of fun on Topper. I was happy. He was my happy spot back then. Trouble? Yes, I got in some trouble. But that was then. There, I think that's much better for his face. I think it was a little long. Well, let's bake him and then we'll be back. How's that battery do? I need to change it. Okay. Well, we have a horse head on a horse. And yes, I do still have to do some sanding before I paint. But we're getting there. Okay, I've been sanding on him, and I was going to try to paint him tonight, but when I sanded, it's a good thing he's got wires. This leg broke here, and this one broke here. And so I'm going to have Joe glue that on really good. Usually his wood glue works best, but it does take time to set. So I'm going to do that before I begin painting on him. So this is going to be it for tonight, but golly, I think he looks pretty cool. He'll look better with paint. But be thinking about a name.